Hi everybody, it's Caroline here. Welcome back to my channel, and today I am working with the Best of Both Worlds kit, the February kit finally. This is a kit that Chanel puts together every month where you can purchase using her affiliate links or using her suggestions, or she gives you some tips on how to create the kit using products from your own stash. So this month I purchased the products. Most of the products that were in her suggestions, the ones that I couldn't buy, I either swapped in from my stash or bought an alternative. And I'm going to tell the story of my husband and I when we went on a trip a couple of weekends ago in our camper van, and we stayed in the Forest of Dean. There's a couple of fun photos here when we found a little shelter in the woods and took some fun photos there. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to struggle with this kit. I know I am going to struggle with this kit. I don't tend to, we don't celebrate Valentine's Day. We love each other very much. So I've got lots of lovey-dovey photos of my husband and I, and I've got lots of lovely photos of my daughter. But this is very much, there are lots of Valentine sentiments. I love pink. There's a lot of pink, so that's great. My daughter loves pink, so it'd be brilliant for some stories for her. And this is wow, that's a vibrant stripe. And when I first unpacked it, I loved it. And now that I'm looking at it again and I'm looking at it next to photos, I mean, that actually looks quite lovely. A lot of our photos are just us out in nature, so lots of greens. There is no green in the kit. There's a bit of green on this, but this is actually something I swapped in. So I think I'm going to struggle. So I'm just putting that out there from the very start. I mean, this, I don't know how I'm going to use this piece of paper. I wasn't going to put it in, and I thought, no, challenge yourself. Because I'm not even that keen on that side. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with this project or any of the projects to come, but I am challenging myself. And you're going to watch. So that will be fun for both of us, or for all of us. So first thing to do will be I'm using the first challenge, which was quite a simple page that Chanel put together because she didn't have a lot of time. Hers pulled together in about 25 minutes on the slow live speed. So hoping that this video for you shouldn't be too long, but if I struggle, it may be a little bit longer than I was hoping for. So what I will do is pop you onto fast forward. I'm doing 2 6x4 photos, which was the challenge for this first page. 2 6x4 photos, and first step will be to find the background papers, 1 or 2 of those, and a border strip, a few embellishments, and then that should be it. So let's get started. Okay, so step 1 is to find some background papers. So I'm flipping through, and as I expected, I'm starting to straight away pull out some neutrals, so there's black and whites. I actually really like this bright, bold stripe with these pictures. They're quite muted, the pictures, the colours in them, because it was very wintry in the photos. So they worked really, really well on that colourful stripe. But I am going to just play it safe, a little bit cautious, and go with mainly black in the background with some of those nice colourful doodle hearts. I'm going to opt for this black wood grain from the Doodlebug Backgrounds collection. It looks grey on here, but it's actually black, and it matches that doodle heart really, really well. And now I'm just going to trim my papers down. It's a 12 by 12 canvas, and it's split into 2/3. So 2/3 of the paper is the background paper, which will be, for me, will be that wood grain, and 1/3, so a 4 by 12 inch strip, is going to be the brighter, bolder pattern, which for me will be this this doodle heart paper. That bolder pattern gets layered slightly off to one side of the 12 by 12 sheet. I was going to actually gut that. I was going to cut a strip out of that wood grain paper to save for later, but I was actually thinking I was going to struggle to use it, so I was really pleased that I was using it straight away. So I've just decided to stick the bold doodle pattern straight onto the top, just for ease. So I'm bringing in a touch of pink now from the collection that shows up on those doodle hearts, just as a mat for my photos. I know that I'm going to want to use this paper a lot, so I'm being really cautious and just trimming my mat down to fit so that I can use that paper later for potentially a background piece. I was a little bit frustrated that I'd cut it a little bit too large, so I'm just going to trim that off. So I've only got a little tiny border around the edge, but it really helps for the photos to pop up from that dark background. I'm inking the edges of everything with black distress ink on this layout, and now I'm just going to start building my layers, popping things down with adhesive and looking for a piece of paper or a border sticker to use on the vertical as Shamel did with her original design. She actually used a piece of paper from the collection, but because I'm using primarily black and white with some hints of pink and that hint of orange, I'm actually going to pull in the black and white border sticker that came on the sticker sheet in this set. Again though, because I'm really trying to use up my stash as much as possible, but also stretch things because this is only the first layout with this February kit, I'm actually going to trim down the border sticker rather than just using the whole piece. It does leave me with a little bit left over, which I'll be able to use on another layout or in a pocket page. So that is one thing I would say. I do try where possible to cut bits of paper from underneath layers, because I do like to stretch my stash. If you're working with a similar design and you haven't got a border sticker, you could very easily just add in an extra strip of paper here. It doesn't even have to have a decorative edge, or you could punch a nice edge if you've got some border punches left in your stash, just sitting there not being used. So my next step will be to build my title. I was looking at that large sticker. I know I'm not going to use that because I'm in the UK and I spell favourite with a U, so I could have built up a title on top of that, but instead I'm choosing to use the alphas from the kit and then bring in some larger alphas from my stash, again in black, down on that bottom right, and I will be writing my journaling in white pen on that black wood grain paper off camera later on. Now, one piece of paper that Shamel recommended that I wasn't able to source was actually a 12 by 12 sheet, but it was built up entirely with labels, so you could just fussy cut them out and use those labels. So because I haven't got that paper, I don't have any labels in this kit or anything to use as a kind of base for embellishment clusters. So I've pulled in some label sheets from my stash that I'm just going to pop into this kit for this month to supplement it and to kind of counteract my not having that sheet of paper that I've seen Shamel and others cutting apart to use as journaling spots, and also, as I say, for the basis of some embellishment clusters. Now that I've used those two labels to set a spot for in clusters and titles, I'm just going to go through this Simple Stories sticker sheet and look for some icons and some word phrase stickers that will help to tell my story, that will accentuate it a little bit. I love camera icons, so straight away I've pulled out that one and only lonely camera sticker, so I'm sure I could use that time and time again all through the month, but it's already there on this page and it's bringing in a hint of the orange that you can just faintly see in that doodle heart that pops up here and there throughout the collection. Before I commit to using any more of the stickers from that sticker sheet, I want to look through the cut apart elements, the 12 by 12 sheets, to see if there is anything that I could cut out and use for embellishment clusters. There's lots and lots of lovely icons, but again, it's all very heart focused, very pink and bright at this point, and not really fitting in with the story that I want to tell on this page. I love this paper, I love the shape and the way things are built up, but I wanted to save it for a different project. So instead I'm going to stash dive again and pull in some really old papers from some 6x6 paper pads. I think this is an Amy Tangerine from 2012, I think, and I've also got a punch, so I'm going to punch instead some shapes and layer up those rather than cutting into that paper on the that you can just see peeking on the left hand side. I was really pleased to find this bright paper, so lots of black and white on there, but just some hints of colour. Some of them aren't in the collection, so there's some green and some blue on this leaf paper that isn't in the collection, but I'm going to be able to hide those cunningly under some more layers in a short while. I'm really happy that I thought to bring in that hexagon punch. I think it looks really good, and it gives another additional paper layer to build up these embellishment clusters with some smaller details now from the sticker sheet. And for me, that's always going to be word phrase stickers. I love them so much. Most of my layouts, even the pocket pages, have word phrase stickers on them. I just love how you can easily add to your story with just a few little sentiments, and it gives it lots and lots of added interest. And the last thing to do on this layout, once these word phrase stickers are down, will be to bring out the enamel dots. The kit came with a suggestion of one set of enamel dots from Simple Stories. I actually purchased those and some Doodlebug confetti hearts that match the collection perfectly, because I put in quite a lot of Doodlebug as extra into my kit. And so I'm just going to dot those around in those two embellishment clusters just to frame them and make them super pretty. And then off camera I will be adding in my journaling, as I said, onto that wood grain background with a white pen. I really hope you've enjoyed this process video, and in the end I loved working with this kit, and I think it's going to be a little bit of a love-hate relationship, but I'm already looking forward to my next project. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this, please give it a thumbs up, and if you don't already, please subscribe. Bye!